All right, good afternoon. Coming off a bye week last week, thought we had a really, really good session last week. Practice-wise, guys were upbeat, obviously coming after a big win against Virginia. And, guys got a lot of confidence, just a bounce in their step, I think, and that's awesome to see from our guys. And then including last night, we had a practice last night, and they were flying around. It was fun. And, I think, right where we are in this point in the season, it's an exciting time for us. We know we've got four really good teams we got to play in the month of November, and we're excited about that. And we, talk about how we're going to finish what we remember for this year, and so it starts with Miami. We know Miami's a team coming off a huge win this weekend against their rival game, Florida State, and Manny's got the defense flying around. That side of the ball is extremely impressive. Starting up front with their 4D linemen, their defensive end leads the league in sacks and tackles for loss. Very long, explosive player. But their D tackles get a lot of push as well. It kind of fits. I think it all fits together what they do defensively, and very aggressive in the back end. A lot of man coverage. A lot of good athletes back there running around, and probably two of the better linebackers in our league that have played the most ball. Probably the most experienced linebackers we've faced this year. In 55 and 56 there, and actually got to play against them their freshman year when I was at App State. They came and played us, and they were freshmen, and they were really good back then too, and they've just gotten better. So strength of their team, obviously defensively. They've played a couple quarterbacks on offense, and Williams, I think, had a great game this past week. They're can throw the ball, stretch the ball down the field, and have some guys to throw it to out there as well. So there's a lot of good athletes running around, and obviously a tough challenge for us. I don't think we've ever gone to Miami and won a game, and so it's a great opportunity for us to change that this week. We'll open up with questions.
Coach, the way the schedule broke up, you had bye weeks, kind of breaking up the season in thirds. You like how that's set up, and how is this bye week different than the last one?
Yeah, as a coach, we're going to spin it in a positive way, no matter what. We have no control of when the bye is going to happen. But, with the way it worked out this year, you play four, a bye week, play four, get a bye week. This point in the season, everybody's beat up. Every team's beat up. At this point in time where you love to be able to have some depth and play up some more guys. But it came at a great time for us to heal up some of the guys. Blanton's out, our kicker. It can't heal that up, the kind of injury he had. But as far as just bruises and those type of things, guys really took advantage of that last week, living in the training room. And again, last night it showed everybody flying around froggy, feeling good. And I think that's what the bye is all about at this point in time in the season.
Coach, when you look at Miami, kind of on film, I think they're 20 or 21 points away from being undefeated.
Yeah.
Are they on film maybe one of the better teams that you've seen this year?
Well, I think it's because of their defense. If you play that kind of defense, you give yourself a chance to win games. And just look at the Georgia Tech game. It wasn't Georgia Tech's offense. Georgia Tech strip fumble, fell on the end zone. They faked a punt for a touchdown. They manufactured that win, and kudos to those guys for doing that. But when you play great defense like they do, they create turnovers. They sack teams. They tackle for loss. Then you give your team a chance to win. Now, other phases of the game have to step up and be able to make plays. But, defensively, we've played some good defenses this year, as we go back and look throughout the season. But they're right up there with, some of the best we've played this year of how they cause havoc in the backfield. So they disrupt the running game with the penetration up front as well, obviously, as the passing game. Because you hold the ball, you're going to get sacked. 100%. You can't hold the ball. And so we got to do a great job of getting rid of the football. We've given up some sacks this year because we've held the ball. If we do it again Saturday, we're going to get sacked. It's a guarantee. So we have to get rid of the football.
Coach, with Blanton being out, how has Ryan performed in practice? Has there been any type of big drop off between him and Blanton?
No, he's done a good job all last week. Last night, I thought he kicked the ball well. It's obviously different in practice compared to when you get into a game, when it's time to play and the lights are on. We'll see how he performs. But he's done well. We got a lot of confidence in him. He feels good about his ability. And so much of kicking is mental, and I think as long as he has the confidence to know he can go knock them down, I won't hesitate to put him out to go kick the field goals and extra points. And we have all the confidence in the world that he'll go out and make it.
Did he have a lot of work during the season?
He has. Yeah, he has. You know, we worked him throughout the year. And, you know, again, in the Virginia game, he got an opportunity to go in and kick an extra point and nailed it. And, you know, all the time that you put in – and kickers, you know, you got live times in practice that they do kick, but then they're kicking the most of the practice after that as well. So he's had obviously a lot of work, and you just now he's the guy. You know, when it's practice time and we're calling for the ones, he's the first guy out there. And so, but he's done well with that, and he's knocking them down, and that's all we can ask for. You know, we'll see how it goes. You know, the last month with him, and hopefully he'll make them all. That's to be the plan.
Over the previous 2 seasons, the offensive line it struggled at times here, and this year it's been really one of the more consistent and better parts of the team. Usually it takes longer to rebuild. How have you been able to you guys get that going at a higher level so quickly?
You know, I just think a lot of it's what we do offensively, our scheme. You know, we're not a team that's going to spread out and throw it 50 times a game. You know, when you do that, you expose a lot of things. I think for us, we want to run the football and try to protect them, so to speak. You know, we only run basically 2 schemes up front in the running game with inside and outside zone, and we try to get really good at that and give them confidence in that. And that's what we've been working on that since day one, since we got here. And, you know, in the passing game, we have given up some sacks, but a lot of that hadn't been on the offensive line. I think they've done a pretty good job with that, considering some of the guys we've played. You know, but they have. That was a big question mark. Probably the biggest in my mind coming into the season was the offensive line. How are they going to play? And, you know, they've really exceeded, you know, I think expectations up front. And we'll need them to continue to play well, obviously, this last month. And, you know, quite frankly, offensively, we leaned on those guys. You know, we really just, you know, we haven't thrown the ball a lot the last 2 games. We really ran the football, and against Virginia, you know, against a really good defense last week. To me, that's how we won the game. You know, I think our defense played really, really well, but we ran the football in the second half there, created some good drives, and really controlled the game in the second half, and that's how we got up 2 touchdowns.
Coach, you touched on Miami's front 8. So for this game, obviously, you know, you're still going to do what you do and run the ball, but even more so, you've done it this season, but look to take some more shots down the field, whether it is Mikal or Evan out there?
Yeah, I think so. You're going to get some one-on-one opportunity out there. You know, of course, Miami knows that as well. You know, they're you know, I feel like a defensive back in Miami from the time they were born. They know how to play man-to-man coverage. I feel like the kids they recruit down in that. You know, I haven't been at FIU for 2 years. You go watch a bunch of high school practice. It's like they don't play zone. I mean, it's like I call it breathalyzer defense. I mean, they're right here, you know, checking the breath of that wide out. You know, he's right in your face, and those kids have a lot of confidence in that. But you know, you have to be able to take advantage of that. You know, when it's one-on-one, if they don't have any help over the top, it's you versus him, and we got to go win that. And then these quarterbacks got to make a throw to where they give your receiver an opportunity to make plays. And then it comes down to making plays. And but you have to be able to take some of those chances. You have to throw the ball down the field and take some of those chances and hope you hit some of those plays. If you're able to hit some of those plays, then you're right in the game. I think, you know, this year we've hit a lot of big plays over the top, and you know, Clemson we didn't. You know, so I think that's a big difference right there. You have to be able to hit those plays when you're taking those shots.
Coach, going back to the offensive line, they've seemed to kind of expand the rotation a little bit. Obviously, Renato's playing, Cole's moving around a little bit as well. How much do you feel like that's just helped their depth? Because Virginia, they seem to get better as the game went on.
Yeah, Adonis Boone's another one. You know, so yeah, we've actually, you know, started to play a little bit more guys. Which is good, you know, because as you get down toward the end right here, you probably need a little bit more depth, I think, you know, if a guy gets dinged by this time of the season. So, you know, Cole came in and played really well against Virginia, and which to his credit, you know, TJ had been playing a lot more, and then Cole started practicing a lot better and got an opportunity and made the most of it. I think that's what it's all about. It's a great story on being resilient and continuing to work. So I was proud of Cole for that. You know, we all are. But we want all our guys that way. That when things don't go your way, sometimes, you know, there's 2 ways you can look. You can get bitter. You can get better. And obviously, we wanted you to get better, and that's what he did. He's like, listen, I got to start working harder in practice and show that I can do this. And so we rewarded him with a start against Virginia, and he played really well, and we were able to move the football. So, but yeah, we have created a little bit more depth there up front. I think Adonis Boone's a guy who's really gotten a lot better throughout the whole season. From the start of the season to right now, we feel confident about playing him as well, and really probably at guard and tackle. I think he's kind of that swing guy for us. You know, and he's a young player, sophomore player, and I think, you know, he's got a bright future ahead, and we're excited about him. So I think, you know, we are trying to create a little bit more depth there up front wise that'll help us throughout the rest of the year.
Coach, you mentioned Ryan on extra points. I think James had the kickoff
Mm-hmm.
in the last game. How will you handle that, or will Ryan handle both of them?
No, I think we'll do the same thing we did toward the end of the game. I think it's obviously if you got one thing you need to concentrate on, I really think those guys get better at that. And this point in the season, we wouldn't want to put that much on Ryan. I mean, he could do it, but I think if we can split that, I think that'd be the best for our team.
And then Marlon started the last game
Mhm.
and had a really good game.
Yeah.
What did you see, or what had you guys seen in him to give him that nod?
Yeah, I think Marlon is probably one of our most athletic players in the secondary. He can really run. He can jump. For him, the mental capacity was what was holding him back. And he's been practicing better. He's another one of those guys that's kind of been putting the work in. He's been a big special team player for us, getting better and better on defense. And Coach Brown felt, let's give him an opportunity. And he went out and played well. Had a lot of tackles, played the ball well. And I would see him. Hopefully, that gives him a little confidence too to know, hey, I can do this, and give me that chance, and that he'll continue to get better and better. But yeah, we're really proud of Marlon as well.
I know what you said about bowls in the past, but this is the first game that
Mhm.
this would make you a win would make you bowl eligible.
Mhm.
You still not talk about that?
No, we don't talk about it because it doesn't matter really. We met on Sunday. I brought it up to say, hey, listen, everybody knows we're at 5 wins. You get another win, we're going bowling. We all applaud that and we want that, but we got to focus everything on Miami. We don't, if you focus on the bowl, you're not going to win another game. So you focus on the teams you have to play. So all our focus is on the preparation of Miami. Everything that we're doing right now, yesterday's practice and everything this week is all about the preparation, trying to go out and beat Miami. That's it. And at the end of the season, we hope what we've done is good enough to warrant a very nice bowl, and we'll go enjoy that when that happens. But right now, all your focus is to be on the task at hand, which is the Miami Hurricanes.
Scott, the question's coming. How's the quarterback health, and any idea who's going to get the nod this week?
Yeah, I think again the bye week, man, it was a great time for those guys, and the great thing about both of those players that they didn't get any setback in the Virginia game. Both were healthy out of that. Last night they're both running around, feeling good. Cunningham will start. Cunningham will be the guy, and Evan's going to be ready to go, and we'll see how that goes throughout the game. But the good thing and encouraging thing for us is both guys are healthy, and I think probably as healthy as they've been in the last month. And I think that gives us a little bit better sense of what they'll be able to do out there on Saturday night.
Is Hassan good?
Yeah, he's practiced. He's well. He's good to go. He's another one that was dinged up, prior to Virginia, and I'm so glad to have him back also. He'll be back kicking, kick returns as well.
Back on the quarterbacks, obviously Coach Ponce has been with you for
Mhm.
forever, it seems like. Obviously Taylor played really well for you guys at App, Zach as well. Mikhail's grown as well. What does Coach Ponce do that helps those quarterbacks so much?
Yeah, I tell you, Coach Ponce does a great job with those guys. He's just very consistent, and he coaches them all the same. He's hard on all of them throughout practice. When they get an opportunity to make their presence known as in playing the game, they are prepared. And he's very thorough and very consistent. I think that's probably the two things that he is. He's very detail oriented as well. So I think those guys know when they get out in the game, they know what they're getting ready to see, and they know, now they just have to go perform and make the plays. But he does a great job with them. Obviously, his track record speaks for itself. Going all the way back since he's coached quarterbacks with me. Our guys have always been towards the top of passer efficiency every year, usually taking care of the football, making good plays, and the way he teaches them, man, he does a great job with them. Coach Ponce was a high school coach and high school teacher for 15 or 16 years. And when you're dealing with the high school guys, you really have to. You're developing those guys. You're developing them from the time they're in the ninth grade, 14 years old to the time they become a senior, and so he does a great job teaching them, and I think that really has translated to really good quarterback play over his career coaching those quarterbacks.
In the current world, more and more teams are infatuated with passing the ball, and
Yeah.
and you like to run the ball. It's a little bit more old school. How did you become that comfortable with that, and why do you think you lean that way?
Well, I like to win. That's what I like to do. And if it's running the football is going to help us win, then that's what I like to do. I like to throw it. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than watching a ball go in the air and your guy catching it and going and scoring a touchdown. So So I would say that's a little bit false. In fact, but I like to win. So if you go back and go look at the history of football, who can run the football and who can stop the run, those are the teams that usually wins on a consistent basis. Now, there's teams that throw the football and they throw it really, really well. They'll go out and they'll beat a team they're not supposed to beat, but over a long period of time, they don't win as many championships. And so I just think just like the other night when we beat Virginia, just a nasty weather type day, winds blowing, you got to be able to run the football. And if you try to lean on that pass too much, if you're leaning on the pass too much, now quarterback's having a bad day. What are you going to do? If you can't run it, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. If you're able to run the football and then you're helping your quarterback out with that, then he's able to cut loose and he can have a lot of great stats too, and be efficient. I want to have an efficient offense and be able to take what the defense gives us. So I think as we look at our stats by the end of the season, I hope that we'll be pretty balanced in the amount of yards we have rushing and throwing. I would just, usually that's what ends up happening. And, you can go look at the Wake Forest game where we threw the ball really, really well, a lot of big plays in that game. This Virginia game against a great defense, we were able to run the football, for over 200-some yards. So, I just think you got to be able to do both in this day and age in college football. But if you can establish the run, then you're going to demoralize the team that you're playing if they can't stop it. And I think that's the way you want to win championships.
Coach, now that you're at this point in the season, like the home stretch, if you will, you mentioned you're not focused on bowl eligibility, even though you said it is the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But do you feel like there's almost a sense of urgency with this team just to make sure that they're still staying fresh, they're still doing the things that they're supposed to do playing good football because of those goals still being there?
Well, I just think that, we're 3-1 the last 4-game stretch, and I think that we've gained a lot of confidence in that, and the guys are feeding off of that. They like the way that feels, and so they're staying in the moment, and they're coming to work every day. Just like yesterday's practice, a Sunday practice, and they were flying around. That was a great practice. That was the best Sunday we've had, and that's what you want to see as a coach. The guys that are flying around every single day. All right, what do you have for me today, Coach? Like for tomorrow. Like we're putting our game plan in now, kind of getting that together. So tomorrow, to me, these players, when they get to the meeting room, they're going to be eager. All right, Coach, what we got this week? What plays are we running? And that excitement, that joy, that's how you get better and better every single day. And that's what we want to continue to do. We want to continue to be a great football team and get better. To me, we're not even near where we can be as a football team yet. And we're going to continue to strive to be there by the end of this season. And that's going to happen because of the way they come into work every day. And I think just by winning some games, it's giving them a lot of confidence that we continue to work hard. We're going to get better and better. And you're going to have more fun, that we've had all year.
Anything else?
Awesome. Thanks, guys.